If you're like me, when it comes time to just chill out, unwind, and watch a good movie, your first choice might be a good guy versus bad guy, shoot 'em up Hollywood action flick. And that's fine as long as you don't take that stuff too seriously. In this video, we're going to talk about 3 Hollywood gun tactics that could get you killed. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. So, like I said, many of us like a good old shoot 'em up action flicks, whether it's Arnold Schwarzenegger or Keanu Reeves, or my favorite Christmas movie, Die Hard. They're just a lot of fun to watch, but you got to be really careful not to take what you see too seriously. So a while back, I did a video about 3 concealed carry mistakes that could get you killed, and boy, oh boy, I got that. For whatever reason, that video caused a lot of controversy. I got a lot of people agreeing with me. A lot of people said I'm a hack, don't know what I'm talking about. And I will say this, I think that most of the people who were vehemently opposed to everything I said are people that have not had any formal instruction in using a firearm for self-defense. But anyway, as I was thinking about that subject, I thought, you know what, why not make a video about 3 action movie moves, or so to speak, that are really dangerous and can really get you killed, and that are just contrary to good tactical sense. So we're going to do that coming up right after this word from one of our sponsors. This video is sponsored by Hog Holsters, the concealed carry holster I wear every single day. And I'm proud to call John Abbott of Hog Holsters not only one of my sponsors, but one of my very best friends. John still makes every holster individually by hand with a kind of craftsmanship that is rarely found in this day and time. And the viewers of this channel can save 10% on any purchase at Hog Holsters over $30 by using the coupon code Survival on Purpose, all one word. So I encourage you to check out Hog Holsters. I don't think you'll be disappointed. That's Hog Holsters, helping Americans wear guns. Okay, we're back. Let's dive right into it. And by the way, these are in no particular order of importance. That's just kind of how they came into my head. So, Hollywood gun move number 1 that will get you killed is mistaking concealment for cover. And I see this in so many movies. Real quickly, just in case you're not clear, cover is something that will stop bullets, okay? Will stop incoming rounds, or potentially stop them. Concealment is something that will hide you where you can't be seen, but it does nothing to stop incoming rounds. Here's 3 examples that I've seen. In the movie that I'm thinking about, I watched a movie with Lawrence Fishburne again and Stephen Baldwin. They're running through a mall or airport or something. They run into the store, and they're hiding behind, merchandise displays, and bullets are whizzing off everything, and nobody's getting shot. Everybody should understand that that is not going to stop a bullet. The second one I see really, really commonly in movies in Hollywood, and TV shows both, is jumping behind a wall. Most walls are made out of drywall with air between them. And there's studs in the way, and maybe if a bullet happens to hit a stud, it might stop, but the odds are you got this much stud and this much space every 16 inches. And finally, what is probably the most common one that I see, and I see it a lot, especially when they're showing the police come up somewhere against a gunman, is people hiding behind car doors. Car doors will not stop bullets. Not even maybe a 22, but I don't think so. I can tell you when I was a kid, we went to out in the country to this friend of mine's granddad's house or whatever, and out in the field, we were hiking through the woods with our 22 pistols. We saw these old cars that had been abandoned for I don't know how long. So these are old cars made out of real metal, and like foolish children sometimes do, we thought, man, this would be great to shoot those suckers up. So we proceeded to shoot them. We both just had 22 pistols, like a little 6-shot revolvers, and we punched holes in every part of that car. Windows, doors, trunk lids, everything, and they went right through, no problem. We're talking 22 now, a very, very small, light caliber round. By the way, the end of that story is that we got in big trouble and had to come up with some cash to pay for those cars, which weren't worth anything, but we learned a lesson. Anyway, I digress. So bottom line is, if you're going to hide behind a car, you need to use cover, not concealment. Now, what is cover on a car? Cover is potentially put the engine block between you and wherever the incoming rounds might be coming from as much as possible. If you can't get the engine block there, at least try to get behind a wheel, because then you've at least got a metal, typically, at least unless you got these fancy, spoke mags or whatnot, if you got a steel wheel about this big. So on the other side of the car, and that also protects you hopefully from rounds coming underneath it, at least gives you some more protection. Bottom line, car doors don't stop bullets. So that's number 1, confusing concealment with cover. Number 2 is related to that, and it's about how you use cover. If you do actually have some cover, What I see so often is, and I'm going to move the camera here and show you, but people, the good guys getting right up behind cover, they're looking like this so they can peek out, you know. I used to really like to watch Miami Vice, and I remember Don Johnson had this move, you know, he would peek out behind something and peek back real quick, just so he could get a quick look and nobody could shoot him, which kind of seems like it makes tactical sense. But the problem was, he's right up here against the cover, which means that you have a very limited field of view to see what's coming, but it also means that when the bad guys are coming, you can't see them until they get right on you because your vision is blocked right here. There was an officer-involved shooting not too long ago where the officer got nailed and got shot because of that, because he was right up against a tree, which was good cover, but the bad guy came around and he didn't see him until it was too late. So let me just show you an example of what I'm talking about, and you can see what I mean, because I think you may not believe this. A lot of people don't believe this, but you can have just as good a cover, just as much protection if you're back away from the cover, and actually it gives you a couple of tactical advantages. So let me swap the camera around. I'm going to use this tree right here as an example, kind of show you what I mean. Okay, so you can see that I'm in front of the tree. I'm a little bit wider than the tree. If I stand sideways, I'm not. So let me get behind it, and then I'll show you. So you might be able to see me standing out behind the tree, but I am right up against the tree now. I mean, I'm right here. I could reach around the front of it and touch it. So I'm going to start backing up a little bit now, keeping the tree between me and the camera. So right about now, I'm about 10 feet from the tree. You see? And just keep backing up here though. Now I'm about 20 feet from the tree. 30 feet. Okay, you see what I mean? The further back you are away from your cover, the better you can see your surrounding, the less chance somebody can sneak right up on you. The closer something is to your field of view, the more it takes up. Let me show you from the other side. Okay, so here we are about a foot from the tree where you would be if you're crouched up against it. Now, how much can you see of your surroundings without exposing yourself to fire? Maybe there to there. Now watch what happens as we back up. And as you see how much more, just immediately you can see more and more and more of your peripheral surroundings without exposing yourself any further. Because as you saw, I was 30 feet away from the tree and you still couldn't see me. So bottom line, giving yourself some room back from your cover not only removes a disadvantage, but gives you a big tactical advantage, because you can see what's going on around you. You can see if there's other bad guys coming from different angles. You can see if the bad guy's sneaking up on you. You got a little more room laterally to peek out, where you can move around a little bit, and also gives you're further away from the bad guys. So the further something is away, the harder it is to hit, especially for untrained people. So that gives you just another margin of safety. So in spite of what you see in Hollywood, in spite of what Don Johnson did on Miami Vice, crowding your cover can get you killed. And finally, the number 3 Hollywood gun move that we're going to talk about that could get you killed is the one shot and down myth. And I got to say, I was reminded of this while I was reading, I think it was Terminal List from Jack Cards. He's a Terminal List or True Believer, but he's a former Navy SEAL that has written some really good books. I encourage you to check them out. But he talked about a concept of shooting the bad guys down. In other words, you keep shooting until they're down, until you know they're down. You don't just shoot them one time and expect them to fall. That's a Hollywood thing. You see people getting shot and they fall backwards and all that. I'm sorry, not even the 1911 45 knocks people off their feet backwards when it shoots them. There are numerous examples of people being shot multiple times and still continuing their attack. As a matter of fact, I just watched a video on the Active Self-Protection channel where an off-duty cop shot a bad guy, turned around, went to engage the bad guy's partner, and the first bad guy wasn't dead. He was able to get a couple of shots and severely wounded, I don't even know if it was fatal or not, but severely wounded the off-duty cop. So bottom line, don't just assume that just because in the movies they shoot somebody and they go flying through windows and they're down, that that's the way it works in real life. If a bad guy's trying to hurt you or your family, you need to make sure that you stop his ability to do so. And that may take more than one shot. So that is my take on 3 Hollywood gun moves that could get you killed. I'd be interested to hear your opinion in the comment sections below. And I'll just tell you, I'll probably be able to tell the people that have not had a lot of formal instruction by the tone or content of their comments. And I say it like that, I say formal instruction, because I think many times people confuse training and practice with actual instruction. Because the comments I've gotten is, you need to train. I train all the time. I train this, and they come in to tell me why I'm wrong for doing what, not my opinion, what every single professional instructor I know of says to do, and they say I'm wrong. So I'm probably going to stop using the word training. I'm going to start using instruction. So instruction means that you are under the watchful eye of a competent instructor. Otherwise, I call it practice. You can call it training, but we just, for sake of clarity from here on out, I'm going to call it instruction. How much instruction have you had? Because I think that makes it a clearer contrast between the two. And if you haven't had any formal instruction, I really encourage you to get some. I think it'll be money and time well spent. And personally, I completely 100% recommend training with Tactical Response in Camden, Tennessee. If you haven't had any training, take their fighting pistol course. If you go into it with an open mind, not with this attitude that you already know everything, I guarantee you will get something out of it, and it will be a benefit to you. I know for me, not a day goes by when I don't think about something I learned at that weekend, and I know that I am more prepared, more competent, and therefore more confident by that time spent. So I encourage you to check it out. There will be a link in the video description below to Tactical Response, and they're not paying me anything. I don't have any financial arrangement with them. I really think it is really important to get some good instruction, and I think they are a very good place to do it. So anyway, I'll stop rambling now. I hope this has been somewhat informative and maybe mildly entertaining. As always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a new video every Friday and Saturday, and sometimes random videos throughout the week. If you haven't subscribed, you can fix that by clicking right down there, that little icon, and be sure and click that little notification bell that pops up. And maybe YouTube will notify you when I put out a new video. If you want to be 100% certain that you don't miss a single video, you can click right down there, and that'll take you to a page on my website where you can subscribe to my weekly newsletter, where every weekend I post all the videos for the previous week, plus maybe some cool offers or information I think you might be interested in. You can also just go to survivalonpurpose.com/subscribe. I really appreciate the support. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.